friends, welcome to today's video. This is a journal play with all the all the bits and pieces, the ephemera that I have in the orange grab bag that I'm releasing today. And it's going to be in my Etsy store until Thursday, so I think I did that last time, about 4 days that you could grab it. That's just so I can keep on top of all the orders and, you know, make sure that I send them out in reasonable time and be able to produce them all. So I keep it to about 4 days, I think, maybe shorter, maybe longer, I don't know. But today, this one will be available from today until Thursday. Either way, this is all the parts that are in it, and they're just bits of drawings, illustrations, just things that I had laying around in my bag, my orange bag that became the orange grab bags. If you haven't followed what I've been doing with that, I just have this huge stash of papers and bits and drawings and things that I need to deal with and put in my journal, and I thought I'd share it with everybody so they could inspire me to keep going with all this stuff that doesn't usually make sense. And I find these orange grab bags are a really fun way to try and see if you can connect all the pieces and bring a thread to the whole page or the spread, or you can just cut them up and use them however you like. And I encourage you, please photocopy them. If you're nervous that you're gonna ruin it, or if you're nervous that you want to use it again and you don't want to, you know, only limit yourself to the one that I put in the bag, you're more than welcome to reproduce it on a cardstock. Go and grab some craft cardstock and photocopy it on that. That's fun. Go and grab sticker paper, photocopy it on that, make stickers, do whatever you want. But this is the grab bag. Two special things I put in there this release were the tags. I think you can see those tags being made on, what's it called? Tag Tuesday. I think it was called Decluttering All My Scraps. Maybe it was called that. And I've just reproduced them. I color corrected them, scanned them in, you know, did all that, and made them these mini tags that I'll include. So I thought that was a fun little thing to throw in there. I just painted that journal page, that journal spread with Postbox red. I had an idea to kind of go red, black, and white with this, and then you know me, I always get carried away and add in extra colors. But for the most part, it's a red, black, and white kind of spread. I find that with these orange bags and all these like loose bits of ephemera and things that I don't really know how to pull together, a good color story will pull anything together. It'll make it all look cohesive, and that it kind of goes, even though they kind of don't. All of this stuff is pretty random. But there are tons of different ways to use it. You'll just see me through this part. I'm going to stop talking for a second because this part is literally just me coloring stuff in. Or maybe I won't stop talking. Maybe I'll just keep going. I think I'll keep going. I'll just talk about the products I use today. This is an Ohto, I don't know how you really say it, OHTO, Fudeball black pen. I love this pen because it's super, super black. And it's very thick. I think it says, I couldn't even pretend to know what the size was, but maybe a 0.5. It's very, very thick, and I love the ink that comes out of that pen, and it always seems to work. It doesn't skip if you're painting, or if you're going over paint, if you're going over you know, paint marker, anything kind of. It's a really great pen. This one I'm using here, this white one, this is the finer Uniball Signo. I think it's called the Angel something. I just don't like it. I got it in that Jet Pens haul that I did on a few videos ago, and I was talking about the Uniball Signo. I do like the broad. That one's been working really well for me. Again, the lines are a little thick, so sometimes I do swap that in and out with my Sakura Jelly Roll. But the fine Uniball one, it kind of picks up on camera, but in real life, like, it's just a bit of a hassle to get working, and it just doesn't flow as good as the Sakura Jelly Roll. Maybe mine's different. Maybe I haven't primed it properly, but for me, I just think a white gel pen kind of comes ready to go. And yeah, so basically that one, I'm not going to reinvest in buying that pen again. I will use it until it's finished, but it's not easy to get working. It's not easy to keep working. You've got to kind of go really, really slow. And even then, I feel like the ink isn't as opaque as the Sakura Jelly Rolls. So, and that's what I'm really looking for in a white pen, because I want to just bring out, you know, the bright whites that I might have colored over. And I don't want to, you know, I don't want to hassle when I'm trying to do it. So I won't reinvest in that one. The Uniball Signo, the broad, yeah, totally, because that's great and opaque. But like I said, it's just a bit thick of a line width that I like to use. Here I've got a Prismacolor marker. Now these were actually the first set of alcohol markers I got, and these ones are from back in the day. These ones I think are from 2006, I want to say, 2007. So these are 10 years old, those Prismacolor markers, and they're still going strong. Some of them have dried out a little bit, probably because I didn't put the caps on right. But they're working pretty good, and I like the color range. I will say they've got a bullet tip and a chisel tip, and most of the time I'm working with alcohol markers, I like the brush tip because you can just get in there. You can do thinner lines and thicker lines, so you can cover small, tiny, detailed areas and broad strokes at the same time. And I know you can totally do that with the Prismacolor markers, but you kind of have to switch in and out. You know, put the cap back on, turn it over, use the thin one, put the cap back on, turn it over, use the other one. And that is such a first world problem. I totally get that. But I'm just saying, when I've got my Copics next to it with the brush tip, I generally go for the Copic markers. And that's just because I'm just way too lazy to be dealing with caps and lids. But yeah, the Prismacolors, they've got great colors, got a great color payoff. I find maybe working with the broad, the chisel tip, the broad end, you just don't get as a flat kind of color that you get from Copics. I don't know if it's not wet enough. Maybe it isn't because they're 10 years old. They're great though for fashion illustration, or if you're doing anything really quick and sketchy. I really like the Prismacolor markers for that, because I actually find the chisel tip on the Copic markers to not really work well. I don't know if it's I store them upside down, and because I'm always using the brush tip, that maybe the ink doesn't flow really well to the chisel tip, but I dare say I have maybe use the chisel tips on my Copic markers a handful of times. I never go for that. So yeah, we're just talking about products here. The paint on that page, I don't know if I said this was already was Dylusions Postbox Red. I love the Dylusions paints because they're transparent kind of, but they're really, really vibrant. So you can totally do a wash of color and still get that really, really vibrant pigment out of it. But they are still transparent. So if you want to layer colors, that works totally fine. A lot of stenciling works really well with Dylusions. And yeah, I just love the colors. They're super, super rich. Also, they're matte. So when they dry down, they're totally easy to work over the top of with pens and pencils and all that kind of stuff. There's no kind of glossy sheen to them that acts as a resist. Oh goodness, I think I'm starting to lose my will to speak. I'll persevere. Here we've got one of those journal index cards. I think they're called index cards, the ruled ones. I picked these up from Target and I just love them. I love adding them in because I don't have to draw the lines and I can just totally journal over the top. I add them in as little bits, so I'm going to add this in as a mermaid tail. Sometimes I'll just punch out a circle and add them in. I don't know if I've been showing that a lot lately because I'll be honest, I have been playing off camera. I know it doesn't seem like it would benefit me, but you have no idea how hard it gets sometimes to stick the camera on every time you sit down to film. It can be quite daunting, and it wasn't at the beginning. That's what's the weirdest part about this. I feel like the more I'm going, the more daunting it becomes, and maybe I'm just in a bit of a funk. I don't know. I'm probably not. Maybe I'm just whinging, but I just think sometimes it's really important to turn the camera off and just play for myself. And I think you know what I'm talking about, like, you know, just taking the time for you. If any of you've got YouTube channels, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It just becomes a little overwhelming to film absolutely everything that you're doing. So I'll always put it on an Insta story, and you know, I'll always take photos of it and stuff, but sometimes it's just really nice to turn the camera off and play. But that doesn't help when I'm trying to make a YouTube video, so I just gotta grin and bear it at the moment. But I had a good time making this one. I will say, maybe it was that Tag Tuesday last week, and you guys were so incredible with all the kind words that you posted in the comments, and I really, really do appreciate that. Maybe that's what put me in a little bit of a funk about filming, because I just felt like I was filming myself go through that process. But I have gone back to those tags, and I know I said in some of the comments and in the replies that I did go back and find things that I really did like about them. So thank you for encouraging me to do that. You know, it's totally something I should have told myself to do, but sometimes it's nice just to get the encouragement from others, isn't it? You know? Sometimes I feel like I'm giving advice to people and then 2 months later they'll give me the same advice back, and that's just the way the world works, isn't it? I think it is. Yeah, but maybe I shouldn't be so dumb and just take my own advice. I really appreciated all the comments. I just said that. I'll say it again because I really truly do. and yeah, I won't beat myself up about it. That was what it was, and it's done. And now this page, I have gone just as nuts on. I tried to add every single element from the orange bag, and I think I was successful. I even added some bits and pieces from the art journal placemat I did for the last video. I'm pretty sure it was the last video. That one where I just did the example in an hour. I just cut up some bits and pieces and put those on there because I thought if it was red, black, and white, they actually kind of went. which was fun for me because I didn't have to create anything new for it. And it was a good way to use that before those art journal placemats became more orange grab bag stuff. Do you know what I mean? As soon as I finished with those, I put them straight down there and I was like, oh no, they're going to be here for like 2 years and I'm going to come back to them and be like, hey, remember this? So yeah, I was really happy that I could use some of that stuff straight away. I felt very successful when I did that. Just journaling on here. Can you believe it? You guys are actually seeing me journal for once. I thought I'd give it a go because I actually had some things I wanted to write down and nothing too important. I know I said one time when I'm making examples, sometimes I just write about me making the examples, so it's just like that lorem ipsum text, you know, just the random generated text. But yeah, today I did write some stuff down, like I'm super excited to go to Japan next month, I'm freaking out, I cannot wait. I was writing down some of the stuff that was on the page and how I used it and where it was from, blah blah blah, just some journaling. I'll show you some close-ups. I really hope you enjoyed watching the journal play, and if you're inspired to go and grab an orange grab bag, they'll be there until Thursday in the Etsy store, and once they're gone, they're gone. I'm sorry, but I'll probably come out with another one soon anyway, so if you miss it, don't worry. They'll always be around in some form. Way, shape, or form, in some capacity. I'll figure it out. I'll figure my life out one day. Okay, everyone. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the close-ups, and have a great week. Bye.